the counterterrorism and the aftermath of 9/11. United States of America, 11 of September 2001. 4 commercial planes, who had been stolen by Al-Qaeda, crashed against 3 targets. One of them crashed against the Pentagon. The second one was meant to crash against the Washington Capitol, but it missed. And the last one hit the Twin Towers.
The Twin Towers were an emblematic figure of the American financial world, located in the middle of World Trade Center. This place used to have almost 800,000 people in and out daily, counting workers and tourists. The first impact was at 8:46 in the North Tower. People were scared and confused, but they didn't even think of the possibilities of a second plane crashing in the other tower. But it happened. At 9:03, the South Tower was attacked by another plane. Just at that moment when people start tying up loose ends, someone was doing that horrific thing on purpose. It was not just an accident. This changed a lot of things in the US, standing out as the first moment in which the country was attacked in its own land. People no longer felt safe the same way.
But who did this? Osama bin Laden was born in Saudi Arabia on March 10th in 1977. He was raised in a wealthy family. In the 1960s and 1970s, a movement was taking place in his country on the advancement of civil and social rights, which bin Laden did not like. He strongly believed that the religion of Islam should be above everything.
He fought in Afghanistan against the Soviet Union. At the same time, the United States did too. This resulted in bin Laden and the United States allying. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. One of the strangest and most dangerous alliances in history. The CIA carried out the largest operation in history, Operation Cyclone, the program to arm and finance the Afghan Mujahideen in Afghanistan from 1979 to 1992, prior to and during the military intervention made by the USSR in support of the Democratic Republic of Afghanistan. There, bin Laden was trained by the CIA in things such as handling explosives, using encryption codes, or how to hide. He used all these skills he was thought to create Al-Qaeda in 1988, the largest terrorist group in history. Once Sovietics were out of the country and the operation succeeded, the only enemy left was the US. After 9/11, bin Laden was the #1 public enemy of Washington. He was the most wanted terrorist in the world. And George Bush declared that every nation in every region has to make a decision. Either you are with us or you are against us in the fight against the terror.
And you may be wondering, how was bin Laden tracked down?
When Osama bin Laden was assassinated in the Pakistani city of Abbottabad, he was the most wanted man in the world. He was assassinated in a common house, but as the former US intelligence officer John Brennan tells us, the preparation was very risky since it was not 100% known if the leader of Al-Qaeda was there.
How did they find Osama bin Laden?
They managed to find this house thanks to a messenger from the terrorist group who visited the house, where they often saw a tall, thin, bearded man who the CIA believed could be Osama bin Laden.
The mission that began the 19th of April 2011, whose main objective was to kill the leader of the terrorist group, had 2 helicopters that had to secure the house and its surroundings. The first helicopter, that was supposed to land on the roof of the house, failed to reach its destination and crashed near the house. And at the end, the mission was successfully executed by the Navy SEALs. While this operation was being executed in the United States, however, Barack Obama, the former president at the time, and his colleagues were watching the whole thing from the Situation Room located in the White House. They were the first ones to see Osama bin Laden getting killed, representing the death and the end of one of the biggest threats for the government of the United States at that moment. After his death, the corpse underwent DNA tests and facial recognition where his identity could be corroborated. Then he was thrown away into the Arabian Sea so that his grave does not serve as a meeting point for his followers in the future. But this didn't mean the end of the Al-Qaeda's group. After bin Laden's death, his fellow collaborator, Ayman S. Zawahiri, became the leader and the next target of the United States. In 2022, after a special mission commanded by Joe Biden's government, he got killed. And having in mind how dangerous this group could be, we wonder what would happen next.